My name is Vania Deonizio, and I'm here today to work with you to find ways to connect with your body as you care for others. Working as a frontline worker requires a lot of dedication and energy. You're taking care of others, while often you don't take care of yourself or don't take care of your body. In a perfect world, healthcare providers would practice the wisdom of taking care of their bodies, knowing that such an act is a must for a healthy journey while caring for others. However, we know that very well that we caretakers, healthcare providers, we tend not to do that very often. We tend to prioritize everybody because that's what often inspired us to go to this line of work. The study shows that our body holds on the trauma we face throughout our lives. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk in the book The Body Keeps the Score talks about how our issues are in our tissues. One more reason for us to be able to connect with our bodies, listen to our bodies, and take good care of it. And by doing that, we're able to release the stored sensations and feelings and emotions that are not serving us. And that is crucial for us to be living healthier lives. Um, in this session today, my intention is for us to be able to learn to check in with ourselves and to develop healthy body practices. So, to tend to our bodies as you are at work or at home, just to have that relationship and that connection. I believe that creating a culture where we are taking care of our body, it's important because then when people around you, your coworkers, your community at home see that you're doing that, they can take that as you leading by example and also feel encouraged to do the same. By doing that, you are being part of creating a community of care. And with that, we can all live better lives. So the hope and the intention for this session for today is for you to develop your own restorative approach to connect with your body. Tending to our bodies requires a lot of us. It requires us to pause, to check in with ourselves, and so that we can identify what our body needs at that very moment. I've been asking various healthcare providers from a wide range nurses, social workers, therapists, surgeons, and from a variety of age and background, cultural background, and regions as well, the same question. And when I ask the question, how often do you take care of your body? How often do you check in with yourself? The answer is often, I don't remember asking that question to myself ever. And then my second question is, so how often do you ask that question? How's your body doing? What your body needs to your clients or to your patients? And of course, all of them will be like, well, we ask that all the time. We need to check in with them. So that, you see, that proves my point, especially us healthcare providers. We're so used to caring for other people's bodies while applying the same concept to ourselves, it seems very unfamiliar. I'm certain that all of you have heard that concept of the oxygen mask principle, which is vital when it comes to self care. Again, you put the mask on for you and yourself first so that you can have your oxygen and it can be well so you can take care of others. Very simple. We all know, and yet we don't practice that very often. In addition to pausing and checking in with your body to see what your body needs are, it is important that we identify those needs. And after you identify those needs, it's important that we remain honest to ourselves and true to those needs. Because once you listen, what are the needs, and you just keep going on and you don't take care of it, what's going to happen? Your body's going to be forgotten. So the next step for us would be to take a moment to so that you can come up with a plan that's going to be attainable to you. That's another thing. Many times people think about self-care or self-love, but then they come up with some plans that they are not able to follow. Similar to, when it's the beginning of the year, people make those New Year resolutions. And, it's often they don't follow through with them because it seems maybe too big. So my goal is to really work with my clients, work with people around me to start thinking about simple, small ways that they can check in with their needs and then make little goals. Of course, it's wonderful to have big goals as well because you deserve it. But it is important to also start small. So that is the idea here today, is to start thinking about attainable ways to take care of yourself so that you can build your own taking care of my body needs plan. So once you have that plan in hand, then taking action is imperative so that things can work. So before we go there, before we start talking about the steps and ideas and suggestions, uh, the idea, okay, so I would love for this session to have been in person. We could have this interactive, and I could hear from many of you different ideas and suggestions, and one can borrow from another some kind of best practices. But since this is not possible yet because of the pandemic, we are going to be I'm going to be suggesting a few things for you. But before that, since in the beginning of our conversation today, we had a question of how often do you stop to check in with yourself and with your body and to connect with your body. And like I said, most of the people I ask don't really do that. So in order for us to go to those steps, the 5 steps that I created for the healthy body practice plan, I would like to do a very gentle and simple activity with you. I'm going to invite you to first, if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, or if you're listening to this as going or driving to work or walking or whatever you do, because nowadays people also listen to things like podcasts all the time as they are busy. I invite you to, you cannot close your eyes, obviously, but you can take a deep breath with me and just gently lower your shoulder, relax your jaw, and take a deep breath with me. We're going to take 4 deep breaths. We're going to count 4 counts in, pause for 4 counts, and release for 4 counts. And if you are in a position that you can hold your heart and your belly, you can do that. Do whatever feels comfortable. But I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath with me right now. And we go. And release. One more time. And release. 2 more times. Release. And the last time. And release. Remember, find a comfortable position. Relax your body. And I'm going to invite you. It's very important to me that in order for me to have developed this approach, I have practiced this concept. Everything I'm sharing today are things that I practice myself. I developed, I practiced, and I tested for a while, or now for over a year. And it has absolutely helped me develop a new way to connect with my own body, and has helped me deep old and new wounds, and has also opened my eyes and heart and soul for a new and healthy way of living in my body. I forgot to share in the beginning, but I work as a therapist with the population that faces deep trauma. There are rape survivors, sexual assault survivors, and folks dealing with domestic violence. And all of those things became even more acute during the pandemic. So working with them really helped me wake up to also take care of myself. So that's why I've been practicing this concept on myself as well as sharing with others. Um, the idea for right now is for you to choose, if you are a person who likes to write, and get your pen and paper, or you write it in your computer, or if you're not able to write anything right now, but you're a person who perhaps enjoy maybe like dictating, as in the healthcare world, that happens a lot. So you can use your phone, your device, and record an audio, whatever works for you. I invite you to think about that right now. I will give you a couple moments to gather what you need. And the next step, we're going to wait for a little bit, and then I'm going to share with you the next step. Now, again, with your eyes closed, if you feel comfortable, I'm going to invite you to think about getting yourself centered and sending a love message. Yes, a love message. You heard me right. A love message to your body. So this activity right now, before we think about developing those small, attainable, and also big goals to connect with your body, we're going to send a love message to our body. And why I'm doing this, you might ask. Well, love is the base of everything. And once we learn to love ourselves, love our bodies, it to be easier, it to be more manageable to start taking the time, carving the time to develop that plan for yourself. So, with that in mind, I am going to ask you to start thinking about which kind of love message you want to send to your body today. Okay. And maybe for some of you, that might be a little tricky because that's not something you're used to. So here are some things to keep in mind as you think about the love message. You can start thinking about sending that love message to your body. You can pick whatever age you want. You can think about yourself as a child, as a teenager, of right now, or in the future. You pick, you choose. You have full agency to choose whichever route you want to take for this love message. Once you have that in mind, it can serve as a starting point for you. And remember, your body has sustained you until today. Your body is magnificent. Your body carries you throughout the world. Your body performs miracles every second, even when we're not thinking about it. Your body is working and keeping you alive. Your body, despite sometimes a lot of us face trauma in our lives, your body has the power to heal itself. Of course, we often use other resources, but the resources we use, therapy or exercise, all of the other things, are things that you are doing with your body, and your body is working with you. Your body carries your feelings and emotions. Like I said earlier, your body stores everything. And your body helps to bring about healing to other bodies. You are in this profession of healing, of caring for others. So your body, it is marvelous. So I hope that thinking about these little points, this list can help you have a jump starter so that you can better dig into yourself and think about all the wonderful things your body have been doing for you. And with that, of course, you better than anybody else know your body, and you know what are the things your body has done for you, it's doing and will do and continue to do for you every day. With that in mind, then you can send a love message to your body. Now, if that is also like a challenge for you because it's a new concept, perhaps it's a new activity, um, I'm going to share something I did that helped me to get in the point to actually write a letter, to send a letter to my body. But it's not just a letter, it's a love letter. Let's remember, you are sending a love letter to your body today. So, like I said, one thing that helped me to get to that point, because I was not at all able to just start, pen to paper and write that. Um, I started doing a daily practice when I was on my last year of grad school. I chose a theme that it was about bringing pleasure to our life. And in order for that to happen, uh, a positive, a healthy relationship with my body was crucial. So I learned about one research study that I will share later the details. That the researchers, they suggested individuals to spend time looking at themselves in the mirror and saying positive things to themselves, and with that, uh, things shifted for them in a positive way. So every day when I wake up, and I'm going to invite you to try this activity again, it might be something new for you, and it's okay. New things, it's challenging for us, but I know you like challenge, because again, you were choosing something to do, especially right now during this pandemic. That is very challenging to be a frontline worker. So I invite you to um, do the activity in the morning when you wake up. It's like you're fresh, and it's a very simple and gentle thing. So every day, as soon as you wake up, you get your timer. Almost everybody has like a device that can, like a phone or something. Put a timer for 1 minute. And with your clothes on or without your clothes, whatever you feel comfortable, I invite you to take that time and look in the mirror and start saying positive things about your body. Look in the mirror with your timer on. So here's one thing that I remind myself and others and my clients. That might be something hard for some people because, like we have the influence of media, like the media culture, and there's so many things that, you know, sell to us that perfect body image, for instance. We're not even talking about, like a deep connect with your body. It's just like usually that's what's in the market, right? Like people with their perfect bodies, their perfect everything. And real life is different. So what happened? We tend to be very critical of ourselves, and of our body. So our inner critic it's always with us. And during this time, I will invite you to tell the inner critic to take the back seat so that you are the driving seat. And you also have 23 hours and 59 minutes of the day to allow your inner critic to come in. But during this minute, 1 minute alone, I'm going to ask you to allow yourself, to give permission to yourself to only bring forward positive things about your body. So if in the beginning, in the first days you're doing it, maybe it's hard for you to look at your body and say all of these magnificent things that your body does for you, and the way it's not the way you only look, of course, the way you feel. And if that's hard saying out loud, maybe you can whisper. Maybe, you can start pick one part only of yourself, whatever. You do one body part at a time, or you say it quietly, or you just look and just say it mentally. And eventually, hopefully, that's going to warm you up so that during that minute, you're going to be saying positive things back and forth to yourself and to your body, loving on your body. So that's the idea. So I know that might sound silly, but trust me, this practice is life changing. It changed my life. Think about the power of neuroplasticity, right? I mean, we're all in science, so it is a real thing. We have studies showing that it really works. So by doing that every day, you are going to start to build new neural pathways so that every time after you start doing this, your mind and your body is going to get used to that. Every time you think about your body, you will think from positive lens. So that will help you start seeing and caring and coming from a very caring place and positive and loving lens to your body. Trust me, this works. I've been doing this daily practice for over a year now, and my relationship with my body has transformed tremendously. Not only, like I said, the way I feel my body, the way I look, the way I walk around the world, and that is contagious. So again, take your time. Perhaps if you don't want to send a long message, a long love message to your body today, if you're not in that place, write or record one line and start doing the practice in front of the mirror every day. And every week, perhaps you can add a different line to your message, your love message to your body. That's going to be helping straighten the foundation so that you can put in practice the healthy body practice plan that is 5 steps that I'm going to share with you today. So let's take another deep breath because we're going to be entering the 5 steps. So I want us to be able to ground ourselves. And before we go, I really want to commend you for taking this time for yourself today, for to share space here with me, to think about yourself and to honor yourself. Just by doing this, time is such a precious thing that we have in our lives, and you're here and you're doing that. You're taking this time for yourself. That means a lot. That's the first step for you to start building and new positive and healthy relationships with your body and connecting with yourself as you care for others. So let's take another set of deep breaths together. So close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If you are in a position that you're doing something else, I invite you to shake yourself a little bit and relax your jaw. Lower your shoulder. If you need to move your head a little bit, do that. Just bring yourself to a comfortable position, okay? And we're gonna go to take the deep breath again. So breathe in. You can hold your heart, belly, whatever feels comfortable. And we're gonna go in and hold it and let it go. One more time. Hold it and let it go. We're doing this 2 more times. Breathe in, and let it go. And the last time. Breathing in for 4 counts. And let it go. Good. Okay, so we are back. So now that you have learned about developing the foundation, sending the love letter, love message to your body, finding yourself in a place where you are reminding yourself that your needs, that your body needs, are important and worth it and vital for you to continue to live a healthier life as you're taking care of other people's body. We are going to visit the 5 steps of the health practice plan that I developed. So the first step is to pause. You are working different capacities, running. We often run a lot, we prioritize everything. And pausing is something simple, and yet we often don't do that. So I'm going to invite you to think about maybe, now we really rely on our alarm, on our schedule. So maybe put a reminder, calendar reminder on your phone for a pause. It can be during the day, mid of the day, during lunchtime, whichever time of the day. I often invite people to pause during lunchtime, take that pause because it's like you need to eat. So you're, stopping anyway. So you're taking a break. So do a little pause, do a little mindful breathing. Maybe all you can do is one deep breath. That's okay. So when you do that pause, I'm going to invite you to check in with yourself to identify what your body needs at that very moment. So you stop and you breathe and, okay, how am I feeling in my body right at this moment? Once you ask that question to yourself, I'm going to ask you to think about answering that question. You're the only person that can answer that question. So you are going to start by doing that, developing your own healthy body practice. And you're going to bring that to life. So you stop, you're in the middle of the day, you're coming from one client between one patient and another, you stop for your lunch break, you ask yourself that question, and maybe your need at that moment to be like, okay, I need to stretch. And you do a stretching at that moment. I need to sit down and actually eat my meal. That's helping your body. I need to go outside for a breath of fresh air so that I can regroup with myself. I need to take a quick walk around the block. I need to call someone I love to check in with, to say hello to them. And by doing that, you are calming your body because maybe your body's feeling anxious about something. I need to drink a glass of water that I forgot to drink today. I need to maybe massage my wrist because, I've been doing a lot of typing and I realized that my body's hurting and, it needs some tending. You can do that yourself. I need to go get a massage after work because my body really needs that. I need to maybe listen to a song or do some like doodling or art. Like those are the tiny little breaks, right? The little body check-ins that you're doing during your busy day at work. Or during that time when you check in with your body, you might feel like, well, what I really need is to take, a time, a day off, or actually get home and ask my family to give me 1 hour or 30 minutes, whatever. Like if you're a mother, you come home and mother or father, right? Like you come home and you have to tend to your kids. Like you're tending to others all day long at work and you come home and you have to tend to your kids. But I hope that you find a way to work out, even if it's a few minutes, if that's what you need when you get home, to regroup with yourself, to lie down, to take a bath. Yes, everything I'm saying is just so simple. And I'm sure that you have heard before, right? Like it's important to tend to yourself, but making a point to do that, it is so important. And not only that, one thing that I also learned by reading an excellent book called Set Boundaries, Find Peace, is that part of being able to implement self-care, self-love and, connect with your body, um, boundaries are very important because you need to have boundaries within yourself so that you can have yourself accountable to taking care of yourself. And sometimes you have to set those boundaries with others, coworkers, or your boss, when they perhaps want you to work more than what you can do. Or when you get home, you have to set boundaries with your family and be like, okay, I need 15 minutes of quiet time and I'm going to come out to be with you. But that is taking care of yourself and taking care of your body. So if when you, during the day, during the lunchtime, you do your check-in with your body and you realize that aside from pausing and breathing, you need some extra body love when you get home. Put that little reminder to yourself so that you can be accountable to yourself and do that. So that is very important. And then once you have that in place, so you identify, you pause, checked in with yourself, you came up with an attainable, healthy body practice plan that you develop for yourself because, like I said, you more than anybody know what you need, what your body needs. And then after that, you bring that to life. It's imperative that you bring that to life because how good it is if we just talk about something and we don't the talk. What is in English? They say talk the talk, walk the talk. I don't remember. You know better than I am. So it is important to put that in practice. So you holding yourself accountable. And then the step 4 is to practice self-compassion and self-validation as you tend to your body. So once your cup runneth over, you will see how much better you'll be able to fill the cup of others around you. That is your family, your clients, your patients. You will see the difference of doing something on the go, as we do often, in doing something when you're full, when you are like, that you're tending to yourself. I guarantee you will see the difference. And the 5th step, so practice self-compassion and self-validation. So when people say, perhaps like, oh, if you're going to be getting home and you're going to take 15 minutes just for yourself, that might, maybe you can think about this is a selfish thing. It's not. This is a selfful move. You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of you. And that's so important so that you can show up for others with better, more energy, more fulfilled, with more love, even. So the step 5 would be after you practice the 4 first steps, the step 5 is for you that you're here, you are listening to this, listening or watching this talk. You are having access to this information now. So I would say you gently have a responsibility. Or let me say, I invite you to serve. The step 5 is an invitation to serve as a catalyst of change in your healthcare community and beyond. Leading by example and not hoarding your positive, healthy body plan and other practice you have found to be of help for you, for your well-being, will help normalize the importance of taking care of your body and of the other people's body. While you're doing that to yourself and you're leading by example, others will see. So then they will be encouraged to, everyone around you will be encouraged to also start paying attention to their bodies and to themselves. So what I'm saying about not hoarding this positive thing is that don't be quiet about it. Of course, we all have different personalities. I'm not saying you're going to be getting to work and be sharing this to everybody. It's not that. What I'm saying is that if you have a chance, if you have a chance to talk to others, to share with others what you've been doing for yourself and it's positive. I mean, sharing is caring. And being in the community that you are, it's a community of care already. So why not bring that care within? Bring that care to home. So home. It's you, your body is your home. Your family is your home. And the time that you spend at work, that becomes an extension of home almost, because you're there for so long and you develop this strong bond with your coworkers, with your patients. So it is so important that you can voice that when you have the opportunity to others. So then, like I said, you can serve as a catalyst of change in your environment. Hearing these words today might get you thinking, all right, who has time for all of that? I get it. Healthcare professionals are facing a tremendous amount of stress, pain, and grief, and overall more work now more than ever. And the idea of doing this 5 steps might not sound as important to you right now, or maybe not a priority. But I say that as a psychotherapy professional, working with the clients, like I shared before, facing acute levels of trauma, I've learned the hard way in the beginning of the pandemic that the act of not being connected with and tending to my body can cause extremely detrimental physical and mental health pain. So that's why I developed, in the deep portion, like when the pandemic hit us, and I was seeing my clients and holding a space for them, for their traumas and for all that they were going through. I realized that I needed to do something. And that's why I developed those 5 steps for the healthy body practice plan. Um, Providing support and holding the space, like I said, for others while carrying our own fears and, uncertainties during this pandemic. That's why, I decided that as I was providing different interventions to my clients, different activities for them to connect with their bodies and, to find ways to bring healing to their lives, I really realized that I myself of doing that to do my own self check-in and, not to be a hypocrite, to tell someone to do something and not do it myself. So my body was carrying a lot of trauma by carrying the heaviness of seeing others suffering. Like we can do everything, like we have the tools or the medicine, like physicians who provide medicine or surgery, like we can do everything, but at the end of the day, there is a portion that we don't have control, right? So the same thing as a therapist, I can provide a lot of different interventions, but at the end of the day, the client, the patient, I can't solve them, and that's not the job of a therapist. So that caused a lot of anxiety and suffering. So as a health care provider, I know that I'm not alone, and that is important that, again, I apply that oxygen mask concept to my own life. So that helped me not only develop the 5 steps for the healthy body practice plan, but to be an advocate and to be sharing with others, to all my colleagues and to my clients, to the community at large, the concept of pausing and reconnecting. Sometimes I wouldn't say not even reconnecting, because like I said in the beginning, a lot of us have not even asked ourselves how our body's feeling, or perhaps we haven't sent a love letter to ourselves. We have never thought about that. So to connecting, to building a relationship with our bodies. We are getting almost to the end, and I believe that the approach I'm sharing today, it's not new. Sometimes, we know like, oh, eating too much sugar is not good for our health, and yet we do that. Exercising is good for ourselves, and yet sometimes we don't do that. So aside from checking in with yourself and all the things I said, many healthy things to do, little small activities you can do with your body to connect. Can be mindfulness and meditation. That is something very simple we can do anywhere. Again, time in nature, if you're able to, research proves that it's really helpful for our health to reduce depression and anxiety. There's so many benefits. Uh, Also, having a good support system that you can rely on and can share your journey or can talk about how you feel in your body, if someone that you trust. Um, Music is extremely therapeutic by nature, and there are so many studies that they have even used music therapy. For instance, play music with an EQ and the heart, the preemie babies, because as we know, the preemie baby's heart can be like irregular and everything. Playing music, certain music, classical music in the NICU help stabilize the baby's heartbeat. So if that works for them, it works for us. So like listen to some music that can be calming if you're feeling distress in your body. Movement. I'm a dancer, choreographer. I've been practicing dance inside hospitals, using movement and dance as a way to help hospitalized patients and their families to express themselves and to connect with their bodies. I've been doing this for 15 years, and it has not been one time that I come into a patient's room and the vibe, the environment is quiet, and it's said that once we play music, once we work when it's interactive. I'm not there dancing for them. I'm bringing them. I'm teaching them different movements, adjustable movements that they can do while they have their IVs, and so that they can feel alive. And every session for the past 15 years, every session, when I end the session, everything is different. The kids, the parents are smiling, they're feeling more in touch with their bodies. And we have heard from physicians about when the patients connect with their bodies in this positive way and find ways to release their emotions and feelings through movement and music, they have seen difference in their mobility, difference in their outlook, and it helps tremendously. So again, time in nature, breathing, mindfulness, meditation, music, movement, checking in with others, relying on others that you can trust to help bring the support to yourself, connecting with your body, bringing positive, healthy talk, narrative, changing narrative of your relationship with your body, sending a love lesson, no, love message to your body, and all of those things can help you connect with yourself and check on and listen to your body needs and develop this new relationship with your body, a loving one, so that when you're taking care of other people's body, know that you're taking care of yourself. I believe that the approach I'm sharing, like I said, it is not new. But again, although you have heard it before, maybe not in this specific order, like the 5 steps I share, because I came up with that. Uh, Repetition is very important. I believe that, perhaps hearing this several times from different channels strengthen your not ability, your motivation. I would say your motivation to start tending to yourself. So people often, especially us in this profession, choose to take care of others while often ending up placing our own needs in the bottom of the priority list. I say it is time for us to change that narrative and start taking charge of self care, of our body needs, and start developing this love, this deep love on ourselves and tending to our bodies with care, love, appreciation, and celebration. So, uh, I am not linked to the religion, but Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. I'm going to say it one more time. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and your affection. And one more quote that I love, I'm going to leave with you today, is from Dr. Maya Angelou. She said, as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. And the last one I am going to share today, I feel like, quotes are fun. So this is from Michelle Obama, who I absolutely love and admire. She says, we need to do a better job of putting ourselves higher on our own to-do list. Again, from Michelle Obama's words to you, we need to do a better job in putting ourselves higher on our own to-do list. So this is it for today. I really hope that you have. So now that you are familiar with this concept, that you have learned about the 5 steps for the healthy body practice plan, and also to learn to send the love message to your body, I'm going to invite you to be part of our community. We have created a community that are people from all walks of life, all ages, all professions, to share their experience. A lot of times people they are not in a place, like I said, to even send that love message to their body because of whatever they are carrying with them for their lives. But there is always a starting point. And there is also something to be said about not being in a place to send that love letter to your body. So I am not asking you only to be vulnerable. I am putting myself in that position as well. I have written a love letter to my body last year on my birthday. And that love letter to my body inspired me, together with the things I've shared that I was going through during the pandemic, caring for my clients, to do this work I'm doing right now of a self-care facilitator, together with the Dear Body love letter. So what we have developed is a podcast, and the name of the podcast is Dear Body Love Letter Podcast, which is a place for us to have meaningful and naked conversations about the relationship we have with our body. So the first episode of my podcast has me reading my love letter to my body. So I hope that can encourage others to do the same. And the podcast to be a mix of interviewing healthcare folks, people from all kinds of different professions, just to share their journey. And the hope is that by doing that, we can encourage others to do the same. So I invite you, if you like, you can look for us with the Dear Body Love Letter podcast. I will be honored to have you there. This is it for today. I really feel proud of you for keeping here with me until the end, listening, watching, thinking about yourself, and taking this time. Time, like I said, is such an important, it's a treasure thing. We can never go back. But you did that yourself. You took the first step. So I really hope that you will come back to this conversation anytime you need a reminder of how important you are, how important your body is in this world for yourself. And you can put in practice those 5 steps. You can send that love message to your body and to yourself. Put in practice those steps and start loving on yourself and start sharing with others so that together we can create a community of care and love. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.